Hey guys, this is Jean-Claude, and wow, what an incredible run I had at the Vault Tour. I can't wait to tell you about that, what decks I played, and then I'll also tell you about the video that we missed on Friday. It ended up getting copyright striked because I had sadly used about 3 seconds of a song. I thought it'd be okay, it was just a funny situation. Obviously it didn't work out for me. So, at the Vault Tour on Saturday, I had the plan of going 4-2 because whatever deck you ended the day on was the deck you got to play with. And I put my best deck third. I was hoping to get 1 or 2 wins with my first deck. I knew my second deck was really good. And my third deck obviously is insane. If you haven't seen the video, I will put a link in the description to the opening of that deck because it is absurd. I mean, it's obviously my best deck by far, and I think it's just a great deck. So, first deck we're going to put up on the screen. I'll also have links in the description to these decks if you want to look at them. It did go 2-0. So it has a pretty good Untamed if you can pull it off. I mean, it has 3 Dust Pixies. It's got the Nature's Call, it has Regrowth. So there's just a lot of Amber it generates. Logos is kind of okay. And its Shadows, what I like most about it is it has 2 Relentless Whispers and the 3 Dodgers. Just kind of keeps your head on the steel. Deck list was okay. It's pretty fast Amber Rush if you get the right sort of hands. And that's what it did for me. The second deck I played, so this deck, I really like it. I opened this, like maybe 4 or 5 days before the tournament. And I was very pumped because it has 3 mothers. Oh my gosh. I mean, I had several games where there was 8 card hands, 9 card hands. I mean, it got insane. Putting him next to like Champion Anafel or Shadow Self, I lived the dream. Decent amount of Amber generation, but really the star was surprisingly Sanctum. The Sanctum house in this deck was absolutely bonkers for me. Just being able to call it and use Whispering Reliquary to return whatever artifact they'd played, clog up their hand again, play the Raiding Knights to capture, just having them to be able to beat down whatever Shadows creatures they had or Untamed creatures, taking their creatures off the board, reaping with their remaining Sanctum creatures, it's really powerful. And Blinding Light and Radiant Truth were all stars for me. Wow, this deck was so good. And then the deck for day 2, one of my favorite names as well, the Creature That Screams at Dreams. You should know by now what it does. It is a lands deck, which means library access and Pen Seed, but it also is just an incredible deck, okay? It has a lot of steel, it has a lot of Amber generation. You don't even have to go with the combo to win. This deck can just win outright, and there was many times where I didn't even use Nepenthe for my library access. I would sometimes just return like a Miasma or a Finishing Blow, anything that involved an Amber on whatever house I was calling, and it was enough to just shut out the game just real fast. So, best deck by far. I met a lot of great people out there, had a lot of fun. I had a lot of people come up to me, they thanked me for my videos. It was a pleasure talking to every one of you. I was just really happy to meet all of you. I also got to play a few games with a few people, had my mat out so people knew where I was. And probably one of the highlights of the day, I mean other than top 4, I got to do commentary for the finals, and that's something I've always wanted to do, so that was a blast. Now, to tell you what you missed on Friday, it was something a little bit different. Normally I will open a deck, I examine it, and we just go from there, just one simple deck, whatever it might be. Well, on Friday, I knew it was my last day I could open up a deck prior to the tournament. I was looking to see if I could find something amazing, so I did something a little different. I actually opened up 3 different boxes, and then I set all 3 decks down and only looked at the houses, and I tried to decide which one was I going to open to have the greatest chance of winning the tournament. So this was one of the decks. Still in the wrap, as you can see, because I planned on saving it for the video when I came back. Brobnar Discs and Logos are the houses in it. So let's see what our second option was, which I did not pick as well because it's still in the wrap. Brobnar, Shadows, and Untamed. And then the last deck that I actually picked to open up on camera, which I took a huge gamble. Wait till you see the houses, you're not going to believe what I chose. Mars, Untamed, and Brobnar. What? Why did I choose that? Well, I said, you missed the video, unfortunately. It said copyright striked. Oh, that's awful. But I chose this deck because I was really hoping to find an insane Mars, because I thought it'd be really cool to go to the Vault Tour with a good Mars deck. Brobnar is one of my favorite houses. Untamed can have some insane things, so I said, let's just open this one. Hold on here. There we go. Put the Archon card down. So we'll just take a moment to thumb through it. I'll tell you guys what was in it. It wasn't good enough for the Vault Tour, but it is a pretty cool deck, and I want to show off what it can do. Way of the Wolf was an upgrade, and whenever you play it, creature gains Skirmish. Witch of the Eye, 3 power Reap. Return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Hunting Witch, 2 power. Each time you play another creature, gain an amber. There was 2 of them. How nice is that? Lupo the Scarred, 6 power Skirmish. Play, deal 2 damage to an enemy creature. Like that guy quite a bit. Taking out an opponent's Hunting Witches, or even just a simple Urchin, is really good, because then they just can't reap behind an elusive creature. Ancient Bear, 5 power, Assault 2. There's something about untamed creatures I really like. Like I said, like this, and like Mighty Tiger coming in, being able to kill a creature is awesome. This Assault 2, being able to take out a 2 or less power creature, and Ancient Bear not taking damage with that Assault power is really good. It also had Bear Flute, and it's an artifact. As an action, fully heal an Ancient Bear. If there's no Ancient Bears in play, search your deck and discard pile and put each Ancient Bear from them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your discard pile into your deck. Vigor, 1 amber whenever you play it. Heal up to 3 damage from a creature. If you heal 3 damage, gain an additional amber. Mimicry, when you play this card, treat it as a copy of an action card in your opponent's discard pile. Lost in the Woods, amber whenever you play it. Choose 2 friendly creatures and 2 enemy creatures. Shuffle each chosen creature into its owner's deck. Grasping Vines, amber whenever you play it. Return up to 3 artifacts to their owner's hands. Fog Bank, 1 amber whenever you play it. Your opponent cannot use creatures to fight on the next turn. So far it was a pretty solid Untamed. And then all of a sudden I saw War Drummer and Brobnar and I got real excited. So it's 3 power, return each friendly Brobnar creature to your hand. Lomer Flame Fist, 5 power whenever you play it. If your opponent has 7 more amber, they lose 2. Crump, 6 power. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Crump, its controller loses 1 amber. 2 Crumps. Grenade Snib, 2 power, destroyed. Your opponent loses 2 amber. Ganger Chieftain, 5 power. Whenever you play him, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. Pile of Skulls, it's an artifact. Each time an enemy creature is destroyed during your turn, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. What a great card. Unguarded Camp, amber whenever you play it. For each creature you have in excess of your opponent, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. Each creature cannot capture more than 1 amber this way. Tremor. Play, stun a creature and each of its neighbors. Loot the Bodies. For the remainder of the turn, gain 1 amber each time an enemy creature is destroyed. Blood Money. Place 2 amber from the common supply on an enemy creature. Very nice, because if you're calling House Brobnar, odds are you're going to be able to kill whatever creature you put this on, and your creature still survives. So 2 amber is very nice while taking out a creature. Anger, 1 amber whenever you play it. Ready and fight with a friendly creature. This allows you to play a creature on the same turn and still be able to use it to get that blood money. Brainstem Antenna. We're on to Mars now. It's an upgrade. This creature gains after you play a Mars creature. Ready this creature. And for the remainder of the turn, it belongs to House Mars. Very powerful card. It's a rare. It allows you to constantly use creatures over and over. If you get something like a John Smith, this thing can go insane. Yixley Marauder, 2 power. He gets +1 power for each amber on him. Whenever you play him, capture 1 amber for each friendly ready Mars creature. Vesmia Think Drone, 3 power. Reap. You may archive a friendly creature or artifact from play. Yixlix the Zookeeper. He's 2 power elusive. Reap. Put an enemy creature into your archives. If that creature leaves your archives, it is put into its owner's hand instead. So, what's really interesting about this deck is we have seen 0 archives. We had Untamed and Brobnar, not well known for their archiving. So this guy, anytime he does it, you're not even going to bother picking up your archive. Those creatures are basically removed from the game. Unless your opponent has like a Dasania of sorts. Mind Warper, 2 power elusive. As an action, choose an enemy creature. It captures 1 amber from its own side. Very nice card. And see, there's that John Smith I was referencing earlier. Wow. So good with that Brainstem Antenna. Imagine Brainstem Antenna played onto this guy, and you got a Ulix Zookeeper. You either played that turn just now, or he was out before. That's a lot of reaping, a lot of amber you get, and a lot of creatures you can take away from your opponent. They're never going to see it again. And I actually do know what happens in the future. It just gets a little bit better. Feeding Pit, it's an artifact. Action, discard a creature from your hand. If you do, gain an amber. Mother Gun. It's an artifact. As an action, reveal any number of Mars cards from your hand. Deal damage to a creature equal to the number of Mars cards revealed this way. Soft Landing. The next creature artifact you play this turn, and just play ready. So normally you want to see Squawker here, but this one's actually pretty good because you can immediately use a Feeding Pit to gain an amber and get a creature from a particular house you don't want in your hand to maybe build up for the next turn. And then Mother Gun is also pretty nice too to enter play ready just to take out an opponent's problematic creature. So Soft Landing in here is not too bad. But, oddly enough, we also had Squawker. And whenever you play it, ready a Mars creature or stun a non-Mars creature. So this is really good for that John Smith turn or the Zookeeper turn. You want to save it for it so you at least get that for sure reap and you're able to really take out something that's big that your opponent relies on. Mothership support, amber whenever you play it. For each friendly ready Mars creature, deal 2 damage to a creature. Fantastic card. I love anytime you see something that allows you to spread out damage, and this is just a great card. You get amber whenever you play it too. You're not going to complain if you get 4 or 6 damage off of this. Heck, I'd be okay with getting 4 or 6 damage off a card that didn't have amber, but with the amber, it's excellent. Last card of the deck, it's Mass Abduction. Amber whenever you play it, put up to 3 damaged enemy creatures into your archives. If any of those creatures leave your archives, they are put into its owner's hand instead. So, this, in combination with the Zookeeper, is really, really good. As I said, you're not touching your archives for any reason. That's for sure. Up to 3 creatures gone. Zookeeper, we don't know how many you can get rid of, but thanks to these other cards comboing with it, you're sure to hit at least a couple of your opponent's creatures. So the Mars in here was very interesting to me. I also want to note that so we had some capture on the Mars creature here. This is getting rid of some amber. We had actually a little bit of amber control just right here in Mars, right? So that's pretty good considering everything else the House Mars does. But I want to go back and show you what the Brobnar. This Brobnar is quite a bit different than most Brobnar I've opened in the past because it's really, really good at preventing your opponent from forging keys. Unguarded Camp is a great card for taking away your opponent's amber for a moment, right? Well, Pile of Skulls is kind of the same thing. You're able to kind of spread out your opponent's amber on your creatures. This is just whenever it's destroyed, you get to put on a friendly creature. Ganger Chieftain, nice power. This guy is also amber control. Look, when he dies, your opponent loses 2 amber. The fact that you can control this, be able to swing into your opponent's creature, maybe either kill something or cause some damage for your future Mass Abduction. You're forcing your opponent to lose 2 amber. That's just really nice. I love the amber control inside this Brobnar. Crump does the same thing. We're destroying enemy creatures. 6 power is big and beefy. It's going to be able to take out at least 1 creature and make your opponent lose an amber. And there's 2 of them. Lomer Flame Fist, another way. If your opponent is able to get up to 7 more amber in that turn, being able to play this guy, make them lose 2 is excellent. And War Drummer makes his effect happen twice. And things like the Crump, being able to replay those after they've taken some damage just to help make your opponent lose more amber. It's just an all-around solid Brobnar. It's an interesting concept to see this much amber control inside Brobnar. And as we go back through Untamed, this was kind of our house that kind of just is a catch-all. Grasping Vines is great. Being able to return, if your opponent has 2 or 3 artifacts out of different houses, you are clogging up their hand. The Lost in the Woods, amazing. Fog Bank is great, just to be able to protect your creatures. Because this Fog Bank is going to be really good with the 2 Hunting Witches. If we can get the 2 Hunting Witches down and we can Fog Bank on the same turn, being able to call another house and dropping down 3 to 5 creatures, that's amazing. That's a lot. That's a huge amber generation for you. Witch of the Eye, I think that's probably best to just get back something like Mass Abduction, maybe even a Fog Bank. If your opponent doesn't have any direct damage to take care of your Witch of the Eye, always returning back a Fog Bank every turn, that's pretty big. You can always be free to reap, save your Hunting Witches. That right there, it's just big. So the Untamed was kind of the weakest house. I do like everything it does, but as I said, the impressive part of this deck, definitely the Brobnar. I like the Mars. I mean, I cannot complain at all about the Untamed because it just has nice, solid cards. I mean, Mimicry, top 3 card for sure, right? So the rating I gave this deck in that video was a B+, because I thought it was extremely interesting. It's not really a tournament level deck, as I said, but it's something that you're going to take to your locals. You're going to have a great time. Your opponents are going to be impressed with the things that you do. They're not going to actually enjoy that Pile of Skulls in that Unguarded Camp. You're going to definitely take them by surprise with that. So, alright guys, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.